Hi, welcome to the second episode of the SQL Season 1. This question is considered as a harder part. This is a one-line sentence question, but this is been used in all sectors maximally to understand the scenario of the usage of the resources. Okay, we can say it as a resources, we can say it as a business case or anything. Based on this use case, right, people can generate a revenue on the system. Okay, so that way this question and the output also will be useful for generating reports, for generating the business use cases and many other things. Okay, stay tuned with me. Let's go to the question. The episode 2 question is: find all users who are active for 3 consecutive days or more. So consider a user employee system or consider Netflix system. So the Netflix want to understand that the user who is continuously watching their movies or the series who is logging to Netflix, how many consecutive days he is logging into the system, to his app, his web application or his mobile application. So in a day or in a month, how many times he is logging in to watch the movies. Okay, so the Netflix want to know the user data. Okay, so that they can based on their logging and based on their interests, something like what kind of movies he watches. Okay, they can suggest more good set of movies to him every day. Okay, so for that, right, they need a specific user data first of all, at what time or in a day consecutively how many times he logs in. Okay, in a month, if he have a consecutive history of logging in every day, means that will help the Netflix or any major organizations to track the user activities. Okay, so that way also we can assume this case. Okay, so let's dig into the case. Okay, find all users who are active for last 3 days, consecutive 3 days or more. Okay, we can say it as instead of last 3 days. So I have a simple data set called user events. Okay, in this, if you see, we have a columns like record date, account ID, user ID. Okay, so this will be having the unique user IDs. Okay, this will be having the unique user IDs. How many users are there? That many user IDs will be there, and same user can be repeated multiple times, saying that in which date he logged in. Okay, if you'll see, user 1 is logged in on first date, user again on second date he logged in, and again on 9th and 8th also he logged in. But if you see 8th and 9th he logged in, but 7th he didn't log in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps are there. Okay, so this guy is not a consecutive logged in. Okay, so he logged in for 2 days only consecutively, 8 and 9, but 10th he didn't log in. You can't find a date of you can't find a date of 10 or 7 of December month of 2020 like this. Okay, so this is the way we need to understand that this data set and find the user who continuously logged in, something like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week he logged in. Okay, like that we need to find a user. Okay, and account ID is just an account he linked in. Okay, so now this is the data set. Okay, first, how we need to achieve this one? We need to find the user, distinct users and his dates. Okay, so why distinct users and his dates? If you see this user 6, if you see, I have the user logged in on the same date 3 times. Okay, so these kind of duplicates we want to first remove it. So to remove duplicate, first we need to have a simple logic select query like select distinct user ID record date from the user events. Simple. This will give you the user 1 to user 8. There are only 8 users in this data set. So user 1 to user 8, all distinct dates with that user who logged in will get the data set. Okay, so now once we get this distinct user IDs with the distinct dates, we will assign a row number for each user wise. Okay, so that will help us to find it out the consecutive days of logging. Okay, so let's go to step 2. Okay, what is the step 2? We need to assign row numbers. Okay, so for the user ID, row numbers. So before going to the row numbers, right, I want to explain you what is the row number concept. So what is row number? Row number is a SQL window function that assigns a unique sequence number to each row in a result set. Okay, so how the syntax looks, first of all, row number over partition by column and order by column. Okay, so generally when we create a window function, you need to specify a partition on a column and an order also, so that it will be more clear in when you do an order. Okay, so partition is an optional, it is not mandatory, but keeping a partition will give you a better result. Okay, and order is mandatory. Okay, order will give you an ascending or a descending, which give you a right ordering of the numbering. Okay, so let's see one example of a small example of how a row number is by partition we can do it also. Okay, partition and order by. Okay, take this example. Okay, employee table 1 0 1 2 1 3 employee IDs are there where names are there. Okay, and each employee belongs to a department. Okay, and his salaries. Okay, so now we want to know that the question is the highest salary. Okay, of the department wise. Okay, so the department which is getting highest salary by descending order and then to till ascending order. So simple way we will create an row in select query where everything will be there, a row number of partition by department. So department wise partition we will do, IT department, HR department, like partition we will do it, and an order by salary we will do it on top of it. So order by salary, that to descending. So when we do that, right, we will get a result set like this. What we will get it? HR first. So all the HR departments with the descending order will come as 8,000 first, the highest salary in the HR, then 7,000 in the HR department. That is we assigned as 1 and 2. And again IT department, when it comes, 7,000 is the highest salary. So 1 is assigned. Then descending, second is the second lowest is the 6,000. Second, third lowest is the 5,000. So this way, we can assign a row number by ordering, by grouping the partitioning the department. Okay, the same way we will use in our case also. So we will use the row number over partition of user ID and order by records with a descending order. Okay, here we will not specify any order, ascending or descending. So it will defaultly take the ascending order. When you specify, you will not specify in descending or ascending, right? It will default take an ascending order. Okay, so like that I'm doing what? I'm doing a select user ID and record ID, row number over partition by user ID, order by record date as and distinct activity. This is an data set name which comes out of this one. I will show you in the last query how this comes. Okay, so now when I execute this query, the output will be like user one total, all the user one records with the dates. You can see comes in ascending order. First 8th of December, 9th of December, then 1st of January, 2nd of January, 7th of January, and order 1 2 3 4 5. So the partition here is user ID. Okay, and the order of the date ascending order is record ID. So and the number it is RN. So RN, if you will see, that is nothing but a new column you created on the row number, that is RN, which is the record numbers. Okay, like that. So now the step 2 is clear, you are right, like that all the users will be assigned. Now what we will do, now we need to find a consecutive days. Okay, we need to group the date. Okay, we need to group the user dates, we need to find it out. How we will do it, let's see in the third step. Okay, so this is the query, my solution. Okay, so ignore this island case. Okay, so what I'm doing is here is I'm writing another SQL query on top of the ranked. So this ranked is another data set, came out of this data set. Okay, this value. Okay, I will explain you again this in the final query. Okay, so what we will do here is we are doing a date subtraction. The record date which I achieved from here, right, the record date, that date minus of interval RN, that is RN output what I'm getting, that interval I'm doing it as a group. Okay, it's another column I'm achieving it from the subtraction. So if you see with an example, if I give it, data subtraction is nothing but we are doing a subtraction between one date to one number. Okay, so let me with an example I will give you. Okay, data subtraction, record date and interval RN number. So let's take the date example as record date is 17th December 2020 and RN number is 1. Okay, so when RN number is 1, if you take it, what it will do is record date minus 1. So 1 day before it will go. So it will do, the output of this value will be 1612. You got it. So same way the RN is 2 here. So the 10, the second 2 days before it will go, interval 2 and RN is nothing but this RN will be replaced with the actual number and 2 days. So it will become as 2 days. So 10 to 2 days before is 8. Okay, like 11th, if you take 3 days before, that is 8. 12th, 4 days before, that becomes 8. So if you see this data set example, right, so these 3 days when you are assigned with a row number, okay, and these 3 days when you are doing minus, all the 3 records are coming in a consecutive. So all the 3 record values are coming in a same value. So we can say that these 3 dates for the user which is there are the users who logged in consecutively to the system. Okay, so Now I will apply this logic on top of the actual record set in the sense the record set which I got it from the distinct activity. Okay, so then the output will become in this way. Okay, the user whose record date is this, and the group. Okay, the group is nothing but the minus calculation which we do it. Okay, so like that every date will have a respected minus. Okay, so user 1 first, user 2, so 2 days it calculated, minus 2 days it is doing. Okay, again user 1 date, minus 1 it is doing. Okay, user 1 January 2nd, minus 2 it will do, because it is minus 4 it will do, sorry, 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4th date, so it will go to 29th date. Again user 1 5th date, minus 5 days before it will go. Okay, so 7 minus 5, it is 2. Okay, so if you see in this, do you find any consecutive? No, here you don't find any consecutive days. Okay, like this user 2 we will see, user 2 only 3 records are there, so all the 3 days are not at all matching, so we will skip directly to the user 3, only 1 record, we don't have this match case. Okay, user 4, this case looks little bit matching. Okay, if you see 17th date, first record 1 day minus 16th, user 4 second record, so row number will be 2, so 10 minus 2 8. Okay, row 3, that is RNA will be 3, so 3 minus 11 it is 8. Okay, fourth record, the row RN number will be 4, so 12 minus 4 8, so these 3 records are consecutively coming, so and the date is also consecutive 3 days matching. So this way we will derive a same dates of the grouping. Okay, and then we have grouped it. Okay, we got these dates as same, but we need to now execute this to pull the user with the same 3 days of the dates which he logged in between the 3 days. Okay, we need to show it. So now what we will do, these all 3 steps we will join, because each step is a data set. Okay, we need to join these 3 steps, then only we will get the actual output. So what we will do, this is the final query which I have executed. That is, first step, this select distinct, that will be assigned with a distinct dataset name. Okay, with the clause we will use it here to generate a dataset on top of each single query. Okay, so for this the dataset is distinct. This dataset I will be using in the second step. Okay, so that is distinct activity. So the output of this one will be a dataset of ranked. Okay, and again this ranked I will be using in the third step of the SQL. That output will be a dataset of grouped. Okay, and this will be the final group dataset I will be using here, saying like select user ID, minimum record date, that is strike start, max record date, that is strike end, where the count start from strike length, and from the group this dataset, where the group by user ID and the group by user ID and the group. So when we give this one, right, group, so this will be the total group. Okay, so the group and the record date will be the user ID 4 and the group, these all, and the dates will be 10 11 13, like this one array will be created. Okay, that way we will have a group here. Okay, and at the same time we are using a have clause. Okay, so what we will have a count on the total count records. Okay, which is greater than 3 or equal to 3. Okay, then we will say that specific user ID can be considered as an what we will consider as an right user who consecutively logged in 3 days. Okay, so and we will use a user ID as a group by and the strict start. Okay, as an ascending order. We will again, when I am saying as order by without any value like ascending or descending, it will default take as user ID that value as an ascending order. Okay, so like this I will give you a query, so the output will become like this: user U4, that is user 4, strict start is 10 and strict end is 12 and the length is 3, so 3 times he consecutively logged into the system. So this way we can simply create a system to generate a report for the any user or any requirement to find it out a consecutively logged into the system or logged into any specific activity for that specific consecutive 3 days or 4 days, or recursive we can say it as, or a concurrency we can say it as, or a consistency we can say it, any word we can give it. So that way you can find out the output. Okay, hope this is helpful for you all guys. Where the row number I have explained, this will be concept will be helpful for the freshers who is watching this video, and those who are experienced, they can directly use this query, see the query, they can learn it, they can skip the row number. Hope this will be helpful for everyone for the interview purpose or any other personal learnings also. Okay, if you like my video, do subscribe and hit a like button. Thank you for watching this video. as an ascending order.